Hi, this is Millie Kay, and it's Thursday, June 29th, 2017. And the subject of today's video is the power plant that never happened at the Oroville Dam. And the photo you're seeing is a picture of the unfinished intakes for that power plant that never happened. And this photo is used with the permission of its owner, the photographer James, and I will credit him at the end of this video as well as in the description box for this picture and other pictures. And before I can tell you about the power plant that never happened, I need to explain a few things about the power plant that did happen, and that's the Edward Hyatt Power Plant, which is underground at the Oroville Dam. And this is a Google satellite view of the intake structure for the Edward Hyatt Power Plant. And the dam is here, and this intake structure is at the left abutment of the dam, and it's made up of two intakes. And then this is the equipment building. And I'll show you another satellite view just so you can see from above. This is the intake structure and the equipment building. And this is you can see the trash racks that cover this intake structure here. And this is an actual photo that was taken in 1977. It's a Department of Water Resources photo taken during the drought of 1977, when the entire intake structure could be seen all the way down to the water level. And I'll be reading some information and summarizing it from the hydraulic model study that was done by the Bureau of Reclamation for the Department of Water Resources in 1965. This is a really nice engineering drawing of the intake structure for the Edward Hyatt Power Plant, showing the two intakes and the equipment building. And this is another drawing that will help explain. I've turned it upside down so we can see left and right more easily. Right here at the left is the intake structure that I've been showing you for the Edward Hyatt underground power plant. And this shows the two intakes, and then you may or may not be able to see the dotted lines that show that there's two penstocks that come off of these intakes, and the penstocks carry the water into branch lines that ultimately go to the turbines in the Hyatt Power Plant. And so this whole area here, because we're looking down from above at the dam, and this whole underground area here, it shows the different tubes and tunnels that are down there associated with the Hyatt Power Plant. And then if we go over here to the right, and you can see the spillways over here, and at the right abutment of the dam, there's this smaller intake structure. And if you'll note, there's no other tunnels and associated over here with this structure. You just see these two smaller intakes, and I'll have photos of them a little bit later. So that gives you the general idea of the location of these power plants. And then there's another study that was done on the downpull forces for the intake gates, and also done by the Bureau of Reclamation for Department of Water Resources. This was in 1964. And I'm going to read from here. An underground power plant with a rated capacity of 600 megawatts will be constructed in the left abutment of this multi-purpose feature. Ultimate development will be the construction of an exposed power plant at the toe of the dam on the right abutment. During initial construction, the base of the right intake structure and the complete left intake structure will be built. The intakes for the power plants will be located on the sides of the reservoir about 1,000 feet upstream from the axis of the dam. Each intake structure consists of 2 trash rack covered channels spaced 70 feet center to center. Under the trash racks and over the top of the channels are large movable shutters that permit selecting the level and therefore the temperature of the water released through the power plant into the river. The trash racks are supported by concrete arches and struts along the full length of the structures. The left intake structure is about 650 feet long and is inclined up the side of the reservoir at a slope of 27 degrees 45 feet. In the base of each of the 2 sloping channels is a transition into a vertical 22-foot diameter penstock. Positioned at the entrance to each penstock transition is a coaster gate which serves as an emergency closure gate and will also be used to seal off the penstocks for routine inspections and maintenance. These 21-foot wide by 34-foot long by 2¼ foot thick gates and their hydraulic operators are locked into position by hydraulically operated bolts. The hydraulic operator power units contain sealed pumps, oil reservoirs, and hydraulic controls that will move the gates across the penstock transitions in 5 minutes. The concrete-lined penstocks extend from the base of the intake channels through sound rock to the underground power plant. Ruptures in these penstocks are very improbable. Therefore, the most severe emergency closure condition anticipated for the intake gate is accidental closure with all power plant turbines in operation. And then there's another bit of information from a more recent publication of the Bureau of Reclamation about those shutters, the pull shutters. The main intake structure at Oroville Reservoir has a number of shutters or stop logs that can be added or removed to control the elevation and temperature of water released from Oroville Reservoir. Adjusting the withdrawal elevation is a large task because of the size of the shutters and cannot be done as quickly as modifications to the power operations. Typically, once a shutter is removed, it is not reinstalled until the following year. And then from the California State Water Project Bulletin, Oroville offers further potential for power development in the future. An intake stub was built in the right abutment of the dam and can be utilized in any future power plant constructed at the site. And this is a photo from 1967, a DWR photo, showing the workers putting the steel trash racks on the intakes for the Edward Hyatt Power Plant. And I'll just show you around this photo so that you can see the way that was done. And the intakes for the power plant that never happened don't have trash racks. And I'll show you some photos of that pretty soon. And again, just to show you the complete intake structure for the Edward Hyatt Power Plant with the trash racks and showing the entire length of them. This is a photo of the unfinished intakes for the power plant that never happened. And this appears to be where the trash racks would be put on to this frame. And this is the two of the unfinished intakes for the power plant that never happened. And I'll leave you with this photo. All of these photos of the unfinished intakes for the power plant that never happened are courtesy of James, and he has an excellent set of albums at Flickr, and I will leave a link to his Flickr albums, and I really highly recommend all of his photos about Oroville. Plus, I've never seen a bad photo on his site, so I really think he has probably some of the best photos that were taken of the drought, the most recent drought. This photo and the others of these intakes were taken in October of 2014. So I'd just like to thank James again, and I'd also like to thank all of my viewers. I appreciate every viewer and subscriber, and I hope that you will like, subscribe, and share. And again, thanks, and I'll see you later.